For a great cup of joe, there's one thing you should know. Your morning brew can also be playful. Buff Boy Brewing guys make the temperature rise, and you surely feel naughty when you swallow our coffee. If you want some real heat, give your mouth a fine treat. You will want some more, rest assured. Buff Boy Brewing, you can't get enough of.
It's time for The Scribble, your weekly fix of celebrity chats, bizarre stories in the news, and basic random chatter with best-selling author and syndicated radio host Jeremy Bradley. Make sure your seat is in the upright and locked position and your barf bag is securely in place. Here's Jeremy Bradley.
Thank you very much, Larson. Again, I'm always so flattered by those introductions. Jeremy Bradley here. This is The Scribble. Some celebrity guests will be joining us today. You know, the America's Got Talent finale is right around the corner, and depending on when you're listening to this, it might have already happened, so you know the outcome. And we've got two of the finalists, two of the musical acts that are on the show. They'll be joining us in just a few minutes. And the Canadian Country Music Awards are handed out this weekend in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada, again, as Americans say. So we've got America's Got Talent, and we've got some great Canadians who have talent. And we're going to be talking with, he's a 7-time winner and 7-time nominee, Dean Brody. Great talent, Dean Brody. His last single just went gold. We're going to be talking with him also in the show. So quite diverse talent today, and I hope you will stick around. And you can also tweet us at The Scribble Show. And then my Twitter is at SFCelebWatch. That's at SFCelebWatch. Still getting a lot of your emails about the Kenny Rogers interview that we ran last week. In case you missed it, I was backstage at his show in Winnipeg, and just had a great chat. And it's one of those things where it's sort of a surreal moment because, you know, he's been around obviously longer than I have, even in the music industry. I'm only 33 years old. He's been doing it for 30, almost 40 years. And so then to be sitting back there, before he goes out, I have to realize that a lot of artists will not talk to people before a show. They'll rest their voice, they'll do whatever. And here, he's about to go on stage in like 15 minutes and, he's like, yeah, come into the dressing room, let's talk. And at that time, you want to like milk every minute out of it. I was told that we had 10 minutes, and I was kind of getting a signal at about the 5-minute mark, and I was just like, hey, wait. This is Kenny. You take as much time as you can. You wait until like he's saying, okay, I'm sick of you, get out of my dressing room. But no, definitely. So check that out at thescribbleshow.com, and you can also download it from the website and on iTunes and on SoundCloud. There we are. All right, so we're gonna do a quick break, and then we're gonna talk America's Got Talent because the competition is in the home stretch, and we're gonna hear from some of those finalists right after this.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich, working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare, having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom41.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom41.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom41.com. Go to freedom41.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom41.com.
Celeb spotting on The Scribble.
The CCMAs handed out this weekend, and Dean Brody is joining us on the line. Dean, you tend to clean up at these awards, don't you?
Oh, well, I think I had one year where that happened, but it's kind of spread out lately, actually. It's been nice. I've been fortunate pretty much every year to walk away with one, and it's just a pretty cool feeling.
Let's talk about this year then. Nominated a bunch of times, right? Album of the Year, Video of the Year, Male Artist of the Year. I'm missing out a bunch because you've got how many nominations? 7?
6 or 7.
6 or 7, okay. So what are you're nominated? So album, video, male artist, what are the other ones?
Oh, man, you got me. I think it's single, I think actually one of them is a video songwriter. Yeah, I'm not actually totally sure, which is embarrassing.
No, you know what? That's the thing, though. It's not about the awards, so I don't think that's embarrassing at all, right? It's about just putting out good music and people enjoying it. So now that just makes me wonder, though, will you graciously maybe give the award to someone else then? That might happen, no?
No. I think, when people give you that nod and they say, hey, man, we think what you're doing is great, it means a lot.
Yeah.
And definitely we've shared the award in past. We've won, my producer, Matt Rovey, is out of Nashville, and it's exciting winning album of the year because I get to share it with Matt, and it's a big deal for us. But that's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so if you don't win in one of the categories, you're not going to like jump on the stage and interrupt like Kanye would, right?
If I had a chance to interrupt Kanye, maybe I would.
I think anybody would, just to give him a taste of his own medicine. But so going back to music then in your career, if I'm not mistaken, you also were going to get out of music at one point, weren't you?
Yeah, it got kind of crazy there for a while because we were in Nashville about 6 years, going back and forth, and to stay legally in the U.S. it's quite a challenge for Canadians, and I imagine Australians and people from the UK and stuff too. But just having sponsorship and being able to stay legally is it's a challenge. And so it got to the point where it was I was in between deals and just thought, man, I got a young family. I need to provide for my family. I need to just stop chasing the dream. It's a long shot, and I put my name into a local mine. I got some buddies working at a coal mine in British Columbia, which is just north of Washington State. And the next day Matt called me. He's like, hey man, I got something lined up for you if you want to come down. And so the rest is history. Came back to Nashville and signed with Broken Bow, and we're off to the races.
That's something I want to ask. We've got a country music show, and that's the number one genre in the U.S. is country. Why do so many Canadian artists go to Nashville? Like, why is that? Just the origin of where country music lives? Like, so why go back and forth all the time? Because I know like Jess Moskalouk does that as well. We've had her on the show.
I think it's just where everybody's located. Everybody, even in the U.S., I think if it's about country music, you kind of move to Nashville because that's where you're going to find other people that are passionate about writing and passionate about the genre. And so there's pockets of that in Canada, but there isn't like a concentrated networking of people that there is in Nashville, and so that's why we go there. It's the same with the musicians. It's kind of why we record a lot of our stuff down there. There's a high concentration of the best players in the world in that one spot, so it's very appealing, and it's a great town too. It's a great city. We've made some amazing friends there, lifelong friends, and we've really enjoyed our time there.
Canada loves its country music, and it's interesting that Halifax, or at least the East Coast anyway, is known for a different style of music, right? So it's going to be interesting to see how country music is represented and presented in Halifax this weekend. So you're in Halifax right now, right? Or no?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, so what's the scene like there?
When I first moved here, I didn't know there was such a big country audience. I was surprised when I saw people wearing camo and jacked up trucks and mud and tires and stuff like that. I was like, wow, because East Coast is known for a diverse music scene, but not necessarily country. It's like Celtic and just different styles of music, alternative, folk, but not necessarily country. And so it was kind of eye-opening for me to come here and be like, wow, there's some hillbillies out here. There's people that really get the lyric and the whole idea of country music.
You as a country star felt out of place in Halifax now having country music. I love that.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting, though, about country music, and I know this just from hosting our show for how many years, especially with Canadian artists anyway, that it is just celebrating the music, right? Sometimes we'll hear, like, let's say with the American Music Awards that just happened, or the VMAs that just happened a few weeks ago, the rivalries between, Miley and whoever, but with country it seems like it's, everybody's really supportive of each other. Is that really how it is?
Yeah, it definitely is. It's kind of like a small, or a large family, I guess, when you talk about the music scene and the country music scene in Canada. But I think like my experience with the U.S. country genre was the same. It it's a little bit more respectful than the pop rock world. People in general are just kinder and have a tact to them that kind of maybe isn't as evident in the pop rock world.
Yeah. So what are you looking forward to this weekend? I know there's a whole bunch of festivities for the next several days, actually. So what are you going to be doing?
We're doing a fan fest, so we're playing for our fans downtown here, and there's a beautiful waterfront that we get to hang out at, and just different parties, and it's really cool just being around people that get the business, understand the industry, and it's a really kind of unique way of living, being a musician, and being able to kind of all be in one spot and congregate together and hang out and talk, and it's really cool. We look forward to it every year. And
you're performing at the awards show, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're going to do our latest single called Bring Down the House on the awards show.
You just ruined my joke. I was just going to ask if you're going to bring down the house at the CCMAs. You know,
Yeah. Well, apparently there is going to be some, like, pyro, and stuff's going to be falling from the ceiling, so, yeah, I'm interested to see how that's going to play out.
Oh, well, and
in the lawsuit.
I was going to say, it's going to be a rowdy time because it's on the CBC as well, right?
Right, yeah, they can throw a party, those guys.
So let's talk about the single then, because I know, speaking of success, you got a pretty color, I think, gold, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, no, it's probably my fastest selling single so far.
What does that feel like? I mean, you've had several hits, but then when something like that goes gold, does it feel any different at all?
Yeah, you feel the energy. Like when you play a live show, you can tell when a song is just really resonating with people. And I've had a few of those throughout my career, and they're really nice, because sometimes you do songs and they don't do what these other ones do. And I think as artists, we all have those songs that people just really grab onto, and when you're playing them live, you can just feel the energy coming back from the crowd, and it's awesome. But this song in particular was kind of a risk. Like, we were kind of scared to actually release it because it's kind of edgy. It's almost got like a dance disco kind of an element to it. So it was a great surprise how it turned out.
So do you find that depending on where you perform, maybe you get a better reaction, maybe in Canada as opposed to the U.S. or anything like that, or no?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like in the U.S., I don't know that I'm even known. We had a little bit of success with a song called Brothers when it first came out, and then some craziness happened with my record label, and things got all squirrely, and because of that legal issue, I had to move back to Canada. And yeah, so definitely they know my music here in the U.S. I don't know that anybody would really, other than the people that became fans off of that first single, Brothers.
Mm-hmm. Well, thankfully, we have a very large American audience, so they do know who you are right now. And then you've got a bunch of tour dates coming up. You're going to be all over the place, right? So the details are on your website?
They are, yeah. You go to dbrody.com and check it all out there.
Well, I know we're all going to be watching on the CBC. You can't wait for something to start on fire. As you heard it here first, everybody, something is going to get blown up live on CBC this weekend. So,
yeah.
And Dean's going to be a part of that. So thanks so much for joining us. Again, congratulations or good luck. Not that you need the luck because you're winning all of the awards anyway. So thanks so much for talking to us.
I appreciate you having me on, man. Take it easy.
If you're diabetic, this message could change your life. Is your blood sugar out of control even when you do all the right stuff? Are you afraid of diabetic blindness and the risk of amputation, as well as all those other side effects? Well, you should be. Is there anything that could help manage your blood sugar? Nobetes is a natural supplement that may quickly and dramatically lower your blood sugar.
My name is Bob Corder. I've been using Nobetes for about 3.5 to 4 months now. And in the first 3 months, I've actually lowered my blood sugars from 500s down to 139, and then it dropped to 88 to 93.
My name is Kirsten. I'm a type 1 diabetic, and while taking Nobetes, my blood sugar levels dropped from 295 to 115 in just 1 day.
The FDA hasn't evaluated these statements, and Nobetes isn't intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. But for many, it's helped drop their blood sugar. So if you've been evaluated with high blood sugar, don't delay. Evaluate Nobetes now. Call 800-478-9568 and get your free bottle. Just cover shipping and handling. Call 800-478-9568. That's 800-478-9568.
Jeremy Bradley here, back on the Scribble. With America's Got Talent winding down, the competition is it's getting pretty tight. And again, depending on when you're listening to this, the winner might have already been announced, or these people might already be off the show. So we're going to be hearing from Benton Blount coming up in just a little bit, and then also the Craig Lewis Band. You know, we covered the AGT finales back when it was in Los Angeles, over in Hollywood there. Now it's in New York, thanks to Howard Stern, who has that much clout that he was able to just pick up an entire NBC show and have it move across the country. So good on Howard. Now, is he leaving? Is he not leaving? I don't know. He's kind of flip-flopping. He said that he was going even a couple years ago, and now he's still there. Interesting, when Sharon Osbourne was on his radio show not too long ago, actually, I guess just a few days ago, she was saying that she was making $70,000 per show. That's it, hey? $70,000 per episode of AGT. Let's have a moment of silence. I feel sorry for her on that one. Now, she was really pissed because she was saying that Howie Mandel, a fellow judge on the show, and fellow Canadian actually, was getting at least, or is getting at least $100,000 a show and has a private plane. And, well, that's because he's a germaphobe, right? He's scared to go in with the common folk, with the public on an actual commercial airliner. But yeah, so big money in these television shows. Now, we had a great time. You can go to live.jbonair.com, live.jbonair.com, and then scroll all the way down and you'll see some of those America's Got Talent red carpets that we covered. I had a great time there talking with all of them. You know, we actually met some really interesting people. Stevie Wonder, Leanne Rimes, Patti LaBelle. I'm trying to think of all the artists. Jewel, that was the first time I actually met Jewel in person, and she's been on our radio shows a few times since then. So live.jbonair.com. And we're going to go to the phones right now, back to the celebrity phone to talk with some of the finalists.
Celeb spotting on the Scribble.
Well, I've been calling them the Golden Buzzer Brothers. America's Got Talent wraps up its 10th season in just a few days, and we've got the finalists on the show, talking now with Craig Lewis Band. Hello there.
Hey, how are you? Listen, I like that, the Golden Buzzer Brothers.
Hashtag, we'll do that as a hashtag. You know, love the story of how you guys got together. You were competition first, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so tell me that story.
And I won.
You did. Well, there's some debate about that, I understand, right?
Yeah, he just sat here loud on this radio station just now because he didn't win anything. I won. Listen, he won second place.
So
and that's good.
Okay, so what's the back?
I guess the only way we can get down to that is if somebody has to sign the video.
So let's hear the backstory though. How did it all start?
We were actually Craig was in a talent show at on campus at his college, and I was in the talent show as well, but I wasn't actually in college. You know, I just entered the talent show, and we met that way, competing against each other. We heard each other's voices and decided that we wanted to sing together, and we've been doing it ever since.
So obviously you didn't go into that thinking you were going to form a duo or a group, but did it just sort of happen? Whose idea was that?
Well, I think the friendship happened first. The friendship happened first, and we would just be singing together because we love to sing. And eventually we just decided, hey, this thing, you know, it works. And so we started doing it.
And now, I mean, you guys play so many different types of venues, nightclubs, churches, of course, big theaters for reality shows, and I imagine the audiences are quite different at each. Which is your favorite one to play?
Oh, wow. I don't know. You know, I like the fact that it's different. It keeps it kind of like exciting. You go to one place and you learn how to perform for different crowds. We're church boys at heart, so probably church.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
you know, I would say
less rowdiness at churches. Although I don't know, nightclubs could be tough.
Listen, church people can be very rowdy.
That's true. So, you know, the competition it's quite tight right now. And I mean, we hear the judges week after week saying you've got to step up your game. But how do you do that? I mean, you're going almost day to day or week to week on the show. So how do you prepare for this week as opposed to next week? What's the plan of attack?
You know, I don't know if it's a formula. Like, I don't know if it's a formula. I think our thing is that every time we get up there, we just sing our hearts out. You know, that's what we do. You know, we just sing, and we hope that it's good enough. But we just put our whole hearts into it every single time.
Are you focused on you being up there? Are you focused on the audience experience? Are you focused on the judges staring at you?
We focused on all of that.
can feel what we're thinking about and the message that we're trying to give out.
And we're hoping that they don't see how nervous that we really are. We try not to look it, but we're so nervous when we're out there.
I was going to say, those cameras get really close into your face at some points, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And it's a difference between singing and knowing that people are kind of like judging your every move. So it can be nerve-wracking.
All right, so judging. Speaking of judging, this question was sent in, though. Which judge were you concerned about impressing at the very beginning, and has that changed now?
I think Howard Stern was the judge that we were most concerned about. We didn't know what he would say or what he would think because we felt like he was probably the most outspoken judge. But that has changed. He's been very supportive, and he's had a lot of good things to say about the Craigwood Band. So, hey, maybe we won him over.
That's a good sign. Now, let's talk about their feedback, though, because has there been anything that you absolutely agreed or disagreed with, and then maybe watched it back and thought, yeah, okay?
Well, when we first auditioned, we harmonized, but we didn't do a lot of harmony. For some reason, we just used to stand up and just start singing and just go for it. But throughout this competition, thanks to the judges' advice, we've learned to harmonize more, and I think that's helped us a lot.
I also think one very, very critical thing was when Howard said that you sound amazing, but you look a mess.
Yeah.
So he told us, to kind of like dress differently, and I think that has helped us a lot, and that's something that we'll take with us. Like, we'll keep dressing this way from now on. Feel good about yourself anyway.
I was going to say, not intimidating in the least when you hear something like that, hey?
Right.
Why is it so important for you to inspire people with your music?
I don't know. I think every time we sing, we just kind of like want to uplift someone. Music has done that for us. Like, we've struggled just to get to this point, and music has actually been the driving force behind our faith and keeping us grounded and pushing us to never give up. So we kind of like, every time we sing, we want people to feel that. We want people to feel that, hey, these guys have been through a lot, but look at them. They keep singing. Their faith is strong. They didn't give up. I can make it because they didn't give up. So we want people to hear us sing and just be inspired to go out and do something great or be something great and never give up.
Who inspires you the most?
I think our family. Our family has a lot to do with us being inspired. Our mothers, in particular, they just always, I don't know, they for me, they've just always been there, and they've always been a rock. And when we felt like, it was time to give up on this music thing, they would always push us and say, listen, go after it. This is your dream, so go after it. And, I don't know, it just helped us a lot throughout the years that we've been singing together. So definitely our family.
Yeah, I feel the same way. This is Lewis, and I feel like when I really think about it, it's probably my mom. My mom inspires me because my mom, she had 5 kids, and she, it was a struggle at times, but her strength was amazing, and she took care of 5 kids, and I just look up to her so much. So it's probably, my mom inspires me the most.
I was going to say, why do I have this feeling you two would have been in trouble if you didn't say mom?
Yeah, I think we would have. My mom would be here on the show on Tuesday, show day.
And then finally, let's have some fun with this one. If you could vote out one of the acts right now, give them the buzzer right now, who would it be and why?
That's a trick question. Who would I vote off? Who would you vote off?
I can't even, because there's so many talented people there that we're up against, it's hard to just kind of narrow it down to one. Like, the people are really, really good. Like, really good. So I don't know. I don't know if I can just narrow it down to one person.
at one time. I
Every-
was on everybody except for us.
Everybody else. Well, I'll let you off the hook.
Like,
I'll let you off the hook because we're out of time. Well, Craig Lewis Band, we wish you the best of luck in the competition. Thanks so much for joining us today.
hey, thank you so much for having us.
Ever had something to get off your chest but never had the balls to say it? That's a load of crap. Speak Free with JB.com is exactly what you've been waiting for. Your chance to tell it like it is and not care what anybody else thinks. Have your say on issues of the day. Join newspaper and radio columnist Jeremy Bradley as he tells it like it is. Hundreds of thousands of people have stopped by, including some well-known celebrities who have had a chat with JB and speak candidly about what's really going on in the world. You can join them too. Have a rant or a rave. Be brave and head on over to www.speakfreewithjb.com now.
Celeb spotting on the Scribble.
He's the stay-at-home dad you probably think makes staying at home a lot more fun. Benton Blout is joining us on the line. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah. Now, first off, I have to know, what was it like beating out so many kids on the show? Kind of hard as a dad?
Having a demographic like that with younger children and competing is the worst in the world because I love kids so much.
Now, this is the thing, though, is that we have to say these kids are very mature, very talented. I don't think that I could have participated in a competition like this at their age, though. Would you have been able to?
No, not at all. I think I was a shy kid growing up, so I would have not been able to speak if I walked on stage, let alone dance and all the other stuff they did.
Now, how do you juggle family life in this show, though? I imagine it's been a very tough summer for you.
It's been really tough because obviously I want to spend time with my family, but my family at the same time are wanting me to pursue this dream, and they've supported me, and so the support has kind of helped to balance that stress of having to be gone from home so much.
So with that stress and then the stress of the competition, though, how are you preparing for the finals?
I'm really just going into the finale of America's Got Talent, wanting to show them exactly what I do. So I'm not worried about a big, huge performance with lots of lights. I'm just mainly focusing on doing what I've done my entire life, trying to connect with people through the song. So instead of worrying about what can be bigger and better, I'm actually going the opposite direction, which is a big risk, but just going to show people what I've done my whole life has got me to this point so far.
We had this question sent in for you. What is the one thing you hope your son takes away from this competition?
I just hope that he can see that chasing your dreams can pay off, and sometimes it takes a lot of work, and sometimes it takes some sacrifice, but you still have to try to do it so that you can hopefully make a better life for your family.
Whether you win or lose the show, though, tell me where you see yourself in the next 5 years.
In the next 5 years, I am focused on, obviously, continuing to make music as much as I can, but also making the best life for my family as possible, wherever that puts me. I've kind of always looked at life as an open door, so I've never looked too far ahead to say I have to be here, I have to be there, but I do know now that I have a son and a new one that'll be on the way in March, that whatever makes them happy, that's where I'll be.
Well, we congratulate you on all your success and your family's health and happiness, and we'll be rooting for you. America's Got Talent on NBC. Check your local listings. Benton, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
We hear you chirping. Get scribbling. Tweet up the Scribble at The Scribble Show. Join the discussion with Jeremy Bradley. It's all going down right now on Twitter at The Scribble Show and at thescribbleshow.com.
JB here, back on The Scribble. Well, my thanks to Benton and Craig Lewis Band and Dean Brody, a jam-packed show. So the CCMA, the Canadian Country Music Awards, handed out Sunday night on the CBC. Check your local listings, or if you're in the U.S., follow along online. Find the website, the CCMA website. And America's Got Talent, the finale is just a couple of days away, and good luck to our contestants that just joined us. Hopefully we'll be talking to them as winners. Remember, we've got the latest celebrity news and gossip every day on Entertainment Wrap-Up. That's at entertainmentwrapup.com, entertainmentwrapup.com, and even more celebrity guests from our syndicated radio shows are at speakfreecelebwatch.com. That's speakfreecelebwatch.com. You just heard from Larson a little while ago there talking about how you can follow us on Twitter. So we are at The Scribble Show on Twitter, at The Scribble Show. Now, there's, again, some confusion because people were DMing, and I'm learning the lingo, direct messaging our producer Bonnie Winters saying, hey Jeremy, my Twitter is at @SFCelebWatch, at @SFCelebWatch. So follow both of us. There you go. That's the way you can always be in the know. Well, we're out of time. Thanks again to our guests for joining us, and for you tuning in on SoundCloud and iTunes and at thescribbleshow.com. I will talk to you same time, same place next week. I think we might even have some more celebrity guests. My name is Jeremy Bradley, and this is The Scribble. Bye-bye, everybody.
Want more Scribble? Check out thescribbleshow.com for past shows, celebrity interviews, cheapskate tips, and more. That's at thescribbleshow.com and on Twitter at The Scribble Show. The Scribble is a speak-free media presentation.
If you want some real heat